Okay, 8 days out. Guys are really getting excited. Had a good focused practice today on Davis. It's nice openers. You get a little extra work, and we're playing against an excellent team in Davis. This team is very well coached. They've got good athletes. They've got a returning quarterback who's dynamite and really good skill, and a really well coached offensive line. And their offense coordinator does a heck of a job of really mixing things up and getting a defense to think and communicate before the ball snapped. And they wore a lot of people out last year, so we know it's going to be a great challenge. Having this extra prep time helps us, and our guys are excited about the challenge.
Can you talk about Mayer, the quarterback, and what he can do?
He's a guy who's not real big stature-wise, but he's got a live arm. He's a guy who's really accurate, knows their system very, very well, and really does a nice job distributing the ball and running their offense. He doesn't get phased.
They throw the ball a lot to the back too, right, Gilliam?
Yep.
He's a sort of a multi-purpose guy, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they do as good a job as anybody of really getting their playmakers the ball in space in different ways. And their backs run hard. They can catch the football out of the backfield. I mean, they're threats, probably unlike most teams we're going to see, because they do so many different things.
And they won't be excited at all to play Cal, right?
I imagine, being a UC school and being a Pac-12 school, they'll be excited to play us. But our guys are going to be excited to play. We don't care who the opponent is. We know we've got a very worthy one. I think the preseason rankings I saw, they're top 5 in the FCS. So we know this is a great test for us, and our guys really don't care so much about who we're playing. It's more about playing to our standard. And we need to play to our standard to defeat a really good team like this.
Is their offense comparable to anybody you guys played last year?
They do a lot of similar things to what our offense does, to be honest with you. Very multiple. They're going to do a lot of shifts, motions, trades, a lot of power football. Remembering Coach Hawkins from back in the Boise days, there's a lot of, base of that, power downhill football. But they do a great job of disguising it with different motions and shifts and personnel groupings. And then once you get on your heels, they cross that 50, they're going to take their shots, and you got to be ready for their gadget plays.
With you guys getting a little break after Tuesday, how have the guys kind of responded to getting into game prep mode?
It's been good. Right now we had a Tuesday practice. Tomorrow we'll have a Wednesday practice. Yesterday we had a Monday practice. And so, getting into that routine of a little bit lighter practice yesterday, we were in shells. Today's a physical day. We had 2 huddle. We've got to, force ourselves into game shape. That rigor of playing a play really physically and hard and chasing the football and getting back and running another one. And today and tomorrow are the days we try to establish that and get into our routine. So we'll give them Sunday off, and then we're in the game week.
How's Cam Good played?
In camp, he's, what we expect. He's a guy who's been running this package now for the 3rd fall. Very smart football player. He's up to 234 or so pounds, so he's much more physical at setting an edge. Still just as quick in space, and he's probably a better pass rusher than he's ever been because he's putting all of his tools together with his hands and doing a really nice job of mixing up speed to power and just beating people's speed.
You have to be careful with him, given what he's been through.
Why do you even ask me that? We got to be careful with him. He's kind of eased his way in this camp. Was 100% to go in spring and got a lot of good reps there, but had a hamstring early in spring, and it really, probably in the big picture, was good for us because we had to get other guys ready and get them reps, and we kind of eased Cam into it.
He'll be ready to go for Davis?
Yeah, he's been going full since we got back.
Given the nose guard situation, does that limit what you can do?
No.
Given the fact that you don't have the size?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but no. If we're going to be in our base package, we feel good about Luke being our nose guard. I think Brett Johnson's making some good strides, and Eric Nisich has done some good work for a young guy. So we're still going to run our stuff, and if we're in nickel, in a lot of the teams we play, they're going to be in a lot of 3 wide. So we'll mix up our base and our nickel when we play against those type of teams.
We mentioned Mayer, the quarterback at Davis. You're going to play a lot of pretty accomplished quarterbacks. Mason Fine just a couple weeks later in North Texas. and then down the line Herbert and others too. What do you think about your secondary getting a chance to match up against so many good quarterbacks?
Well, certainly we'll be tested. I really like our secondary. Coach Alexander has really established a work ethic in that room, and those guys have risen to the challenge. But talking about it doesn't matter. I looked, and I think we got 6 or 7 guys on the preseason Davey O'Brien list on our schedule, not including Mayer. So we know each week is going to be a challenge, and you're only as good as your last week. So it'll start with week 1, and our guys have to bring it every week. We've got to do a great job of mixing our looks up on the back end and getting some pressure on the front end.
Do you look ahead to see who some of those guys are? Do you have any
I look ahead to Davis. That's all I can see right now.
A lot of our talk has been about the nose guards, but we haven't talked a lot about Deontay Johnson, and he's kind of been a staple at the defensive line spot. How has he done, kind of working on his run defense?
Yeah, he's been really, really steady. A year ago he was coming off that injury and probably wasn't as comfortable and as confident in that leg as he is now. And he's playing like a veteran should. He's been very steady, very physical. Still need to work on his pass rush. His conversion from run to pass isn't quite where it needs to be right now, but Coach Browning's doing a great job of getting him to play great technique, physical football. All right.
Pause, you get to go. Thanks.
All right.